Supply chain management has become a central figure in 21st century business. For every product manufactured, there exists a series of operations that led to its formation, from sourcing of raw materials to their conversion to the final product. Likewise, there are the services that bring the product to the end user, the storage, retrieval, and delivery, not to mention the information flow between vendors and customers. As much as the supply chain has become the benchmark of a firm's level of operational excellence, challenging issues have emerged. These include the realization that how data is gathered, filtered, and analyzed is crucial in how supply chains are managed. Another is risk, in which global supply chains can be particularly vulnerable to external factors, ranging from natural disasters to spikes in commodity prices. Firms therefore need to face these challenges, while developing their supply chains to new heights in competitive advantage. They need to avoid mistakes that can delay, or worse, disable their efforts. The following are 3 mistakes firms should avoid. Optimizing a supply chain subfunction, rather than the whole enterprise. Purchasing, manufacturing, and logistics managers sometimes get too eager to improve the supply chain that they initiate improvement plans outright, without proper planning and coordination. For example, a warehouse manager in a large fast-moving consumer goods firm mandated use of transportation metrics to increase freight efficiencies. While the metrics helped shorten trucking turnaround and delivery time, customers complained that orders weren't delivered complete, or at the time they requested. It turned out some customers wanted certain items to be delivered earlier than others, or didn't want deliveries to arrive too early, because they had limited storage space. The warehouse manager failed to consider that while transport efficiency improved, the overall order-to-delivery flow was not aligned with customer needs of having the right products delivered at specified times. Over-reliance on forecasts. Various firms have implemented integrated enterprise resource planning information technologies into their supply chains. Whereas ERP can be expensive, it greatly helps firms capture data from sales, manufacturing, and inventories, and automatically provides real-time information for quicker decisions. What drives ERP is the demand forecast. As IT has indeed improved forecasting methods, firms have focused on improving forecast accuracy to sharpen supply chain performance. But sometimes, they overdo it. Some firms, for example, make their sales forecasters accountable for the numbers they predict. This can be quite ludicrous, especially if a firm's business involves introducing new items every 6 months, or have products that are seasonally sensitive. Instead of putting too much effort into predicting demand accurately, firms would do well to see if they can make the demand more predictable in the first place. For example, if firms locate their distribution centers closer to customers and vendors may minimize inventories and order at smaller quantities closer to actual usage of end users. As demand becomes more visible without the interference of speculation, forecasting becomes more elementary. Lack of understanding of true demand. While it is important that firms avoid too much focus on forecast accuracy by aligning better with customers and vendors, firms also make the mistake of putting less priority into finding out what the true demand for their products is. True demand, in simple terms, is how much the end user consumes or makes use of. Many companies, however, structure their supply chains around middlemen that distort true demand, because of speculation between these middlemen and vendors. For instance, Apple stores represent the retail arm of the mother firm. Apple stores allow the company to monitor true demand from end users, including receiving first-hand feedback on product performance. Demand information from Apple stores provides clearer consumption visibilities, or simply a plain look at true demand, which drives Apple's supply chain planning and execution. Apple's success shows that firms would do well if their supply chains are driven by true demand, rather than by structures that hover around middlemen. Firms will continue to streamline their supply chains, as the management of such becomes more high-profile in the business world. Challenges, however, lurk around every corner, and firms have to sharpen their operational capabilities to remain competitive. Common mistakes, such as optimizing subfunctions instead of the whole, overly focusing on demand accuracy versus designing systems to make demand more predictable, and lack of understanding of true demand, can hobble a firm's journey to profitability and growth. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and visit us at www.prosaltsconsulting.com for more information.